come to the bold analysis, what is behind the sporadic protests in this country is a mystery that not anyone can actually, is a riddle that not anyone can actually understand. But I've just been thinking loudly. Someone, a very good supporter of this channel, Bernard Adewa from UK, I saw your comment in one of our videos, and you said, separate Ruto from the foreign powers, then you are done with him. This is something that borders. There is some conspiracy theory around the sporadic protests in the country. They have been sporadic. You've seen even areas you least expected, Soi in Uasin Gishu, Meru, Imali, Embu. There is something going on. And I just want to say that while many want to blame opposition, while some might actually want to blame opposition, but there is a deeper interpretation into what is happening. And how I wish, and I really hope that even William Ruto and the UDA team, wherever they are also seeing it differently. But if they are seeing it casually, as anyone else will look at it, then I'm really afraid that they may not get to understand what exactly they're dealing with. Now let me say this. Raila Odinga announced these protests. There is one cause of these sporadic protests, and one observation can make. US dumped William Ruto. US dumped William Ruto, and I want to put my point, I want to execute my point this way. You remember in December when Raila Odinga was supposed to hold a rally in Kamkunji, and by that time he had started talking about the protest. Raila was called, and Raila traveled to US, attended some summit there, and that rally never happened. After that, we saw US dispatched Steve Cook, one of their senators in the country, to meet Raila Odinga and Rigathi Gachagua. And Rigathi will then come out and tell us that the US team wanted some sort of a handshake between government side and the opposition. So they were very attached. They were highly attached to what was happening in the country. They were highly attached. But since this sporadic protest, that I think if you compare what has been happening, what happened on Wednesday and even the first phase, these ones have been more dangerous. And I think they've been more intense. US never issued any travel advisory. They never warned of any security threat in even those counties, and not even responded to what has been going on. But now, on the other side now, contrary to that, outgoing US ambassador in the country once said that supported the finance bill, that the finance bill is good because it will bring investors in the country. I remember her making that statement. And she praised William Ruto that the finance bill that they floated is actually good, that is going to bring investors. And someone said it's reverse psychology. Immediately after that, the finance bill was stopped in court. The finance bill was stopped in court. Secondly, it is the same finance bill that formed the basis of aggression against government. I want you to get it. The same finance bill that Nani was praising, that US ambassador was praising, it's the same one now, if they are fully behind William Ruto. I think you've seen a difference. You would have seen efforts, or the way they've been kimbelembele, always wanted to be in front, want to be on terms of everything. And what has caused this, if you ask me, is William Ruto has been blowing hot and cold, in the sense that there is a speech he made in South Africa. There are two blunders. One, The speech in South Africa where he blamed the US and the UK for the way they handled Africa, he was actually very right. The way, and some of us have been complaining about it, but it didn't sit well with the US and these foreign powers. So some of them feel a bit of uncomfortable with him. And I've always believed that Africa is using William Ruto as a puppet, you know. Yeah, Africa is using William Ruto. They realize that Ruto is very open and wants to confront everyone and everything. And so he's been handling his diplomatic issues very casually. They've been taking advantage of that William Ruto wanted his profile to be at the African, at the continental level. So he has lost it on that. The other thing why he has also lost the US on this is he's been showing a lot of dalliance with Russia, but I want to leave it there. The second reason behind this sporadic protest is Ruto's combative approach while addressing the public. And let me say this. I have seen a statement from David D saying that government will not budge. They will not budge. If you like toppling the government or not, you can topple, but we are not going to budge. William Ruto has also come out saying, I don't care what you think, what you say, what you do, I will not do what you want. And, you know, even I said here, who needs to be, what is the tone that governments need to have? Do they need to be combative? Because the opposition have nothing to lose. The opposition on the other end, actually that's the only approach they can have. Do government need to be combative? The same government that comes in combative on this context is the someone that is supposed to protect the people. So that combative approach has created a perception that the only language that William Ruto will hear is the protest. Talk to people. Just get one person. Mwenye participate kwa protest umuulize, hey guys, why are you protesting? Utamwambia, the only language that Zakai will understand is this protest. Everything else has been tried and it has failed. You know? So that combative approach is one of the key triggers behind whatever is happening in the country. The other third thing, and I think no one is paying attention to it, is there is social media revolution. The social media buzz, and I remember at one point, I think even Raila Odinga acknowledged the role of the social media. Check what's happening in Twitter. Check what's happening in Facebook. Check what's happening in YouTube. Check what's happening in TikTok. You will realize that the younger generation, the young people who are actually majority in the social media spaces have taken over the mantle of facing William Ruto in the face. If you check TikTok, there are people that are doing content telling William Ruto what exactly it is. If you watch the podcasts, they're enlightening the society. Now, the reason why I'm I singled the social media aspect is, check the TikTok generation. I got to TikTok and left. I think after like 20 minutes, I was no longer there. And I think it's because someone was telling me, because I opened an account in the night, and I'm telling you at night, TikTok is a crime scene. Now, if you check the demographics of those in Facebook and TikTok, they are young people who are actually below 24 years. Go and make your assessment between even these people, these young people that are eating the streets. They are very young. Look at what the vox pop, the kind of vox pop that is coming. The Bunge la Wananchi. By the way, I think it will say. Look at what the Bunge la Wananchi has come. Bunge la Wananchi has become one of the biggest organizations that every now, it's the biggest caucus that every sub-county seems to be having something like, every town seems to be having some Bunge la Wananchi corner. So it's because of the social media, and the social media has done a lot of ridicule and even trivializing the government and giving information. And that has been aided by the internet penetration in the country. Third aspect that I see fueling it, that is third. I said US dumping, Ruto's combative approach, and now the fourth one is the social media revolution. Now the social media revolution, third one is social media revolution. The fourth one is state manhandling protesters. What is happening is this. On Monday, I saw a video. That was the first video that was trending, where Tim Wenyonyi was tear gassed. Disability was actually tear gassed. And that video spread like bushfire. It was all over in these social media spaces. The same way, there was also a report about Mlolongo, about some 2 people shot. So when this information come out, and you know we are in a digital age, this borders with the social revolution. When the way the security officers are handling protesters live on camera, people being mishandled, being manhandled, it's provoking people's emotions. And I know, not of big effect, but the people who might be, they're watching the protests from home, you know. But all of a sudden, social media, something pips up and sees the way a police is beating someone live on camera. What do you think that person gonna do? Probably it's just around. Some people, even you see your relative being beaten, your mother being harassed by a police. So there has been a bit of some provocation, and it is not instantaneous. In fact, it is spontaneous, because when you provoke someone in Mlolongo and that video is spread and someone in Mombasa sees it, it's like we are not the ones now doing it. You see the way protesters have been manhandled probably in Kisii, you feel like we also need to. So that's also one aspect that is spreading it. The other one is, which is the last one, is devolution of the political aberration. The concept by Azimio la Umoja to devolve these leaders to counties. You can look at it as if it has been devolved that Raila is in Nairobi, Kalonzo is in Machakos, so-and-so is in Western. Now, what has happened here is this devolution aspect, it has been devolved even beyond below those principles. Probably an MP, I saw in my county, the protests were actually led by my area MP, Samuel Atandi. You know, so it is that as concept of devolving it has helped it to sink to the community. You know why? Leaders are using it for political mobilization. You know, they're like, this is my team. We are fighting for this. So that has made it, according to me, that you may not be shocked to hear even some MCAs also mobilizing. It has helped to decentralize mobilization. And when you decentralize mobilization, I can tell you that if every part of the country can be protesting, the police can actually be overwhelmed. And the moment they are overwhelmed, that is what normally causes the excessive use of force. Thank you.